Hey y'all, Charlene Mack here, founding CEO of 2541, and I want to talk about something new today. So the difference between polarization and common ground. And less about, well, in addition to the difference, also talking about when to do which. Now there's this misconception about community organizing is that it's all about consensus, it's all about 100 agreement, it's all about 100% of the people on board. No. It's not about that. Obviously, it can't be, because you won't be able to move things if you're always going for 100%. And you won't be able to move things as much if you're always polarizing or playing the opposite side. So when you have the need or the desire or this thing called polarization, but you also have common ground, how do you determine when to do what? It depends. I know folks get frustrated when I coach them around that, but the truth is, it depends. So I want to talk less about when to do which and more about, it's all about the consequences. So when you think about your power building journey and where you want to go, think, okay, with where I am now, do we need to polarize, isolate, and get clear? Do we need to caucus? Or do we need to find common ground and negotiate to advance something forward? When we were doing work in Charlotte, North Carolina, we were doing some work around initially it was student assignment and rezoning, and y'all, there was a lot of noise on what it should look like. Should we redraw a line? Should we do this? Should we do this? So we were like, hey, because there's so much noise and we need to refine this even more, let's pull back and polarize and get clear on what our people want. After doing like 28 house meetings in 30 days, we found out that parents, they wanted to not just have, they weren't necessarily concerned about the lines. They were more so concerned about having better schools, not better schools as far as performing, but quality of schools. So like infrastructure of buildings, clean water, working concession stands, improved grass for their football fields and things like that, and cutting back on the length of time it would take to build a building. Like, that's what mattered to them. And this piece around deferred maintenance. There were some schools that had gone like 30 or so years without getting certain things fixed. So that's when we pulled back to polarize. Now, upon the researching, there was like a $2.5 billion need at the time. I don't remember. It was a big number. So at the time, we didn't necessarily have the power to secure that $2.5 billion. So we had to find common ground on the issue that we once polarized on to see where we could find and secure a win. So even though we didn't get the $2.5 billion, we landed on 132.2, which included money for deferred maintenance and new capital projects. So that's just an example of when to polarize and when to find common ground. So in summary, it depends. 1, 2, you need to determine what are the pros and cons of polarizing and finding common ground in the current state of your campaign. And number 3, I would say, if I were to give an example, you polarize to get clear about your North Star. You polarize to get clear about your issue cut. You polarize to get clear about what your people want. And you find common ground when it comes to negotiating, when it comes to finding a specific policy, etc. All right, y'all, take care. Bye.